What could possibly make a celebrity as emotionally and professionally strong as Kim Taehyung, a BTS member, shed tears in the disciplined and closed environment of the military? Why did this moment trigger an immediate reaction from Jungkook, the youngest BTS member, who is also currently serving in the military? These questions quickly spread among global armies after a photo leaked on South Korean social media and instantly went viral. In the photo, believed to have been taken secretly by another military personnel, a figure strongly suspected to be Taehyung is seen standing in front of a military building with his head bowed and both hands covering his face. Although the photo is of low quality, the emotional expression and shaking shoulders are clearly visible, sparking speculation that Taehyung was crying. An internal military source, who declined to be named due to safety and protocol reasons, confirmed that the incident occurred about 2 weeks ago at one of the advanced training centers. However, the most surprising part is not only the fact that Taehyung was seen crying, but also how Jungkook personally and directly responded to the incident. According to an exclusive report from an informant working in the Interpersonnel Communication Division of the military, Jungkook suddenly submitted an official request to visit Taehyung's training location, which is known to be different from where he himself is stationed. Although such requests usually take several weeks to process and are rarely approved without medical reasons or family emergencies, Jungkook was reportedly granted an exceptional approval in less than 2 days. What made the military authorities loosen their usually strict procedures? There has been no official confirmation, but speculation suggests that their status as international public figures and concerns over Taehyung's psychological well-being prompted the military to take preventive measures to avoid a potential bigger crisis. Jungkook's visit to Taehyung raised many questions among fans. Did Jungkook receive special information that is not known to the public? Or is there something bigger happening behind the scenes, involving emotional pressure, mental health issues, or even internal conflicts within the military training system? Even more interestingly, after the visit, Jungkook did not return immediately to his unit. He applied for a short 2-day leave, and according to several sources, he used that time to contact Hybe agency directly. There has been no official statement from Hybe to date. Army's reactions were divided. Most expressed full support and concern for Taehyung, stating that the physical and mental pressures during military training could affect anyone, even someone as tough as V. However, there were also those who began to speculate further, questioning whether there were personal issues involving BTS members that had been hidden from the public. Many also highlighted how Jungkook took an active role in this situation, even daring to cross formal military boundaries to visit his hyum and close friend. This step was seen as an extraordinary act of loyalty, but also added pressure on South Korea's military system, which is known for being extremely strict about protocol violations. Meanwhile, the South Korean Ministry of Defense declined to comment on the incident, only stating that all military personnel are treated equally according to standard procedures without exception. However, many believe that Jungkook's direct presence at Taehyung's location is a sign that V is indeed emotionally unstable and in need of psychological support. As of the time this report is written, there has been no official clarification from the families, the agency, or the 2 BTS members themselves. However, some fans reported that the support letters they sent to the military base where Taehyung is stationed have begun receiving short, yet meaningful replies, such as, "Thank you for your concern. He is trying to get better." Although not directly written by Taehyung, this response provides a bit of comfort for concerned fans. The big question now remains, what exactly happened to Taehyung? Was the physical pressure during training the trigger, or is there something deeper and more personal that drove him to that point? And more importantly, what exactly did Jungkook say or do during that meeting that led him to file for sudden leave? Armies around the world are now anxiously waiting, not just out of love for their idols, but because they realize that behind the stage, fame, and glamour of the entertainment world, there is a human side that cannot be ignored, and when one of them is vulnerable, the others will come without being asked. Jungkook proved this very clearly, and ARMY knows this was not just a spontaneous act, but a deep expression of love behind the camera's spotlight. However, In discussing the emotional incident involving Taehyung and Jungkook's shocking actions, it's important for all of us not to get carried away solely by an emotional or sensational narrative, but to also develop a reflective and critical attitude toward all the information we receive. The question now is, did this incident really happen as described? Or is this merely a narrative constructed to shape public opinion or even to dramatically increase media exposure? The fact that this information comes from sources that do not always follow professional journalism standards, such as TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and various other alternative media, demands us to be more cautious. These sources, while capable of spreading information rapidly, are also often the main mediums for hoaxes and fact distortion. So, how far can we, as the public, distinguish between reality and media construction? In this context, we need to challenge ourselves with questions that may be uncomfortable. Is the video claimed to show Taehyung crying really him, or just footage manipulated visually and emotionally? Has the information about Jungkook's sudden military leave been verified by official authorities? Or is it just circulating within unaccountable rumor circles? Are we becoming passive consumers of a narrative designed to evoke empathy, or have we lost our critical reasoning amid waves of algorithm-driven emotion? It's undeniable that news like this holds incredible appeal. There is emotional tension, mystery, friendship bonds, and uncertainty that keep the public wanting to know more. But this is precisely where the danger lies. When our emotions are hijacked by information that may not be true, the line between sympathy and manipulation can become very thin, as readers, as fans, and even as part of a community that deeply cares for its idols. We are all responsible for not blindly believing every touching or stirring narrative. We need to examine further. Who is spreading this information? What is their motivation? Is there any official verification? Is it possible this information is being exaggerated for a particular purpose? Is it possible this is part of a hidden marketing strategy deliberately designed to generate waves of attention ahead of a comeback, a documentary release, or another major project? If that's the case, then we are witnessing a new form of emotional marketing that is so sophisticated, it can involve millions of people emotionally without them realizing they are being guided into a certain agenda. We realize that in today's world flooded with information, being skeptical is the most rational form of self-protection. It doesn't mean we have to be cynical or reject everything, but we must demand clarification, request verification, and challenge narratives that are too perfect or too dramatic to be true. We must emphasize that all information presented in this report is compiled based on observations across various social platforms and media, as well as third-party analyses. However, as of now, there has been no official statement from hybe, the Ministry of Defense, or the directly involved parties. Therefore, any conclusions you draw must remain within a critical and open mindset. Let's discuss this maturely. Because behind every shocking piece of news, there is always a more important question to answer. Is this fact or merely an illusion? Thank you.